as the investigation itself, we're still trying to verify and confirm some video, but it appears to show a significant portion of the incident as it happened. There's an individual that's taken into custody. He's a white male. Whether or not that's the person that police ultimately arrested and will ultimately charge in this crime, a bit of a question at this time, but that's just what we've seen so far. As far as the investigation...
He wasn't a white male. He was an Egyptian national. He was never a white male. This guy who tried to set people on fire in Colorado because they were Jews, let's be clear, because they were Jews, because they were supportive of returning hostages, freeing hostages. That's why this Egyptian man, this Egyptian national who had overstayed 2 visas, took Molotov cocktails and a makeshift flamethrower to a park to try and kill these people. Now, there are murder charges against him, but just not for this incident. Those charges could change. Tony Katz. Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. Find everything I do over at TonyKatz.com. It's good to be with you. Buy guns, buy ammo, get trained. I apologize for absolutely nothing. When you hear this story and how this story broke down, when you see the video of this guy just standing there and no one is able to do anything because no one in Colorado seemingly is armed, you realize how important it is to take a look at states that tell you you're not allowed to have your Second Amendment rights and tell them to pound sand and immediately take back your Second Amendment rights. And as I have stated before in a multiplicity of ways, it is imperative that you tell your faith leaders that you are going to carry a firearm into your synagogue or into your church. And if they have a problem with it, fire them. These people who gathered in Boulder, Colorado, there were maybe, as I saw the little march that they did, maybe there was 50 of them. Maybe it was only 40. Maybe it was 60. It wasn't 500 people. It was a small gathering. And they gathered and carried signs, free them now, those kinds of signs, because they wanted Hamas to return the hostages. It's been over a year. It's been a year and a half. It's been longer than a year and a half. And Hamas still holds the Israelis. Americans have been released. The Israelis not. This terrorist organization, funded by Iran, supported by absolute losers on college campuses. And let's be clear, let's stop calling them students. These are grown men and grown women who absolutely hate America and absolutely hate Jews. Well, that's at MIT, that's at Harvard, that's at Columbia, that's at NYU. Dear Lord, you send your kid to an Ivy League school, you hate your kid, and you want them to be surrounded by nothing but hate. That's obvious at this stage of the game. There is no debating it. There is no making it better from the inside. These universities, these institutions must be broken. Harvard losing billions of dollars of federal grant money? Good. Well, we won't be able to do our research. Somebody else will do the research. We'll be fine. You low-life, no-good, dirty bigots don't get any of the money. That's all there is to it. None of us in the private sector who didn't go to Harvard should fund anything you do. We'll fund other schools. We'll fund better schools. And if we don't fund schools, we'll find a lab and we'll fund them. We will work with people who don't actually want to hate the country and destroy the country and support racist, bigots, sexist, and anti-Semites, which is to say Hamas, while they're keeping Israelis prisoner after they murdered 1,200 Israelis. They started the fight. Palestinians were fine with it. I look forward to Israelis ending the fight, but Israelis want their people back, and they're willing to do near anything to make that happen. And they keep pushing for that. God bless them. These people are reminding the world that these hostages exist. These are the people who put up the posters and say, hey, these hostages exist. And then you have the Hamas supporters who tear down the posters because they don't care. If the desire is the end of Jews and the end of Israel, the more hostages, the better, according to them. So they gathered in Boulder, where this guy shows up with Molotov cocktails and he throws at this crowd. People got set on fire. There were reports, although I am curious to know if any of those reports get updated. Because as you guys know, a report will come out and then a report will get updated in hours later or days later. The heat was so intense, their skin melted off. They wanted to free hostages. They didn't engage in anything else politically. They just wanted to free hostages. That's what normal people want. That's what rational people want. They don't want to see people kept hostage. They want people to live free. No. Not Hamas and not those who support Hamas, whether they be on college campuses or whether they be Rashida Tlaib or Ilhan Omar or the people who support them like Chris Van Hollen and Congressman Andre Carson and a host of others, seemingly fine with hostages. This guy, this terrorist sympathizer, this Egyptian national by the name of Mohammed Sabri Solomon threw Molotov cocktails on them, tried to burn them alive. He was screaming, "How many children you killed? We have to end Zionists. They are killers." The video is there. And he was also screaming Palestine free, I assuming his English not perfect. That's the way he translated it in his head. He was then arrested. The problem is nobody there could defend themselves. Nobody there was set to defend themselves. Absolutely no one was prepared to do what was necessary to end this guy's violence in trying to disfigure, maim, and kill. And the objective was to kill, and the objective was to kill Jews. Now, the overall objective is the destruction of Western civilization, which is why you can no longer allow Egyptian nationals into the country. Don't want to hear it, don't care. It's not racism, it's not bigotry, it's not xenophobia. They can't be trusted. Well, Tony, that was just one guy. Sorry, one guy ruins it for everybody. I was told that if one person uses a firearm improperly, I'm no longer allowed to have a firearm. And so same rules apply, lefties. Don't want to hear your garbage. This guy set people on fire. No more Egyptian nationals. And while we're at it, no more Chi-Coms. But I'll get to the Chinese communists in a little bit and their favorite party school, Harvard. That's a crazy story. Can't allow people into the country who run in the opposite direction of the American way of life, of our pluralist society, of people having free speech. You can't have them here. That includes on the college campuses. So when you see the Trump administration saying, "Sorry, Harvard, you don't get to bring in these foreign students. No, we don't do any more student visas." Ignore the judges who try and stop you and keep going with that, including you, Secretary Rubio. Put an end to the student visas and tell the universities that they have to figure out how to deal with the cost. Well, we're going to raise prices. You see, I don't believe in pressuring Walmart to raise their prices because of tariffs. But I'm all fine with telling a public university, who the hell do you think you are, raising the prices on Americans? Just because you figured out a whole budget by taking all these foreign dollars and teaching people who hate us how to hate us more. Harvard's a bad place filled with bad people. It's not my fault for noticing. It's their fault for being bad people who teach bad people to hate us. We should blame them. We should say you're disgusting. We should say you are despicable. You are worthless, Harvard. You don't deserve any of our love or attention. We're not even interested in hiring your graduates anymore. Bye. Claudine Gay wasn't bad enough. Claudine Gay was the president who wouldn't admit to anti-Semitism on campus, couldn't even really define anti-Semitism. So she had to lose her job as president, but she kept her $900,000 a year salary because, you can't take that away from her. No more Egyptian nationals. But that's not even the real story here. The story here is 1,000% buy guns, buy ammo, and get trained. I have, if you know me at all, on my local show in morning show in Indianapolis, on this nationally syndicated show, in speeches and other places, I have made the argument for years now: buy guns, buy ammo, and get trained. If you don't understand that you're under attack, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know how else to describe this or explain this. I think the only thing I can do is keep saying it as I am. If you are Jewish in the United States, you're under attack. That wasn't true 10 years ago. It is true today. It's undeniable. And if you're not willing to accept that, well, then you're insane. And you know what? Saying that you're insane doesn't quite hit all the things that need to be hit. So first, don't worry, my Christian friends. I'm going to get to you. You're a different subject, but we're all part of the same. They want us all dead. I'm going to get to that. So let me just start with my people, Jews. If you are not armed every time you go to a synagogue, every time you gather, you are too stupid to be alive. And don't worry, you won't be for long. You're quite literally the dumbest people on planet Earth, and you're supposed to be the smart ones. Your liberalism will not save you. Your kindness will not save you. Your donation to Act Blue will not save you. If you don't understand that all of these college students who are grown adults, this Egyptian national, all of these people want you dead and are actively trying to kill you. They set Governor Josh Shapiro's home in Pennsylvania on fire. They killed 2 Israeli embassy workers right in front of a museum. Do you not understand that they want you dead? You will not survive it. You are not smart enough. You are not lucky enough. You are not caring enough, and you are not kind enough. What is wrong with you that you are so wholly damn dumb that you don't understand that the next bullet comes for you or your kid? The next firebomb comes for you or your kid. The next, you name it, comes for you or your kid. If you think, my fellow Jews, mashpucha, if you think for a second you are going to somehow get through this and get past this because of your liberalism, you're too stupid to be alive, and soon you won't be. You have to get armed, buy guns, buy ammo, and get trained. You have to be prepared in every situation to protect your life, yours and the ones you love. And that not only is when you're gathered, but that is also in your synagogue. Anybody who's not armed in the synagogue is wrong. Now, some people physically can't. Some people may actually have an issue or shouldn't. Okay. But in the main, everyone needs to be armed and everyone needs to be ready. You're a sitting duck. If you're not armed, you're wrong. And if your rabbi says we don't allow that here, fire your rabbi, because your rabbi is crap. He's garbage, worthless. And that goes for your Reform rabbis and your Reconstructionist rabbis who somehow want to think that their liberal talking points from the Bema, God forbid they should actually talk about Torah, is somehow going to save them. Now, you might think I have gotten off subject here. I haven't. It was just necessary to say and lay down the marker. I said I would get to my Christian friends and I'll get to everybody else. And I said I would, and here it is. You all know that this is about the destruction of Western civilization. You know it. And you know Jews are just the first target. You're the next target. Because the leftist wants to burn it all down. Look what they did to the United Healthcare CEO. That's coming. These people are emboldened. They believe that violence is the answer. They believe that they are somehow righteous in their violence, and they will come for your Christian kids. This is not some fear mongering. This isn't standing on some sort of soapbox. This is now, here, this moment. This is happening. What's your plan? Christians are not left out of this equation. The leftist, the Islamist, the Marxist, pick your group, all have the same desire. Now, eventually the leftist and the Islamist is going to fight each other. You understand that, right? They're not going to coexist. They will fight each other. Right now, we're the ones in the way. So, what's your plan? Because your choices are survive or don't. And I'm sick and tired of anybody who doesn't have this conversation exactly like this. How much more do you need to see? How many more people need to die or be set on fire? How many more lives need to be damaged, lost, or kept in a cave underneath the ground in Gaza? Buy guns, buy ammo, and get trained. And drop from your life anybody who says no. It's a war. It is what it is. And anybody who says otherwise is just stupid. There's no other way to say it. I'm Tony Katz.